Yo guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Chelsea Explained. And I haven't recovered after the game yesterday. A shocking result and performance from Maresca's Chelsea against Newcastle, and we are out of the Carabao Cup. And I really had to take some time and reflect on the game before I went absolutely crazy and ranting in a whole video. Try to really think what went down, why it happened, and my conclusion is ultimately that Maresca and the players threw the game and they did not want to win it enough like Newcastle wanted to. Why? I simply do not know. Maybe Maresca feels like he wants to make top 4 and Europa Conference League his priority, but you just can't pick your priority for me when you're a Chelsea manager. For me, you have to go into every single competition and try to win it. It's been a long time since we actually won a trophy now. A Carabao Cup trophy would be fantastic to win. We came close last year. I give Maresca a lot of praise, but I'm very angry with him with this game. Because first of all, that was a shocking lineup. We had Jorgensen in goal, which is fair enough. He should get minutes. And in the backline we saw Disasi, Tosin, Badeshile and Cucurella. Now, what I can't understand is why we continuously putting Disasi as that right back. Because he cannot fill that role. He can't defend wide. Fofana and Colby, they can define the wide areas to a decent level, but Disasi is completely useless in that position. And then we attacking Disasi like he's not the one that put him in that position. We've seen a game after game, and still Maresca persists with, you know what, I'm gonna continue play Disasi there. I think that is really poor, and not wonder why Disasi looked so unconfident and had a really poor game. He made an own goal, I think, and that was very unfortunate. It was so hilarious, I laughed. But we can also blame the players. I understand they have to take responsibility. Some of the players might not good enough and should maybe be moved on in the near time future, but the manager is the one that has the most responsibility over the player performances from my point of view. He's the one that has to help them out there. If you're putting a certain player in a certain position that they cannot play to the fullest potential, why are you continue to playing them there? He could have experimented instead of having Tosin there, or just bring up an academy guy who can actually be a right back and a centre back and defend the wide areas, like an Ashimpong, for example. Did Maresca feel like he just have to give the players minutes because otherwise I'm gonna make them unhappy and I don't want to upset anyone? I mean, he has acted so tough, so confident in recent press conferences, post-match interview, that he really feels like he knows what he wants. Then why do you keep on playing players in certain positions that they're not gonna play in? When you see it doesn't work, why force it? Like we have an academy, give some of these guys a chance if you don't want to play Gusto and Reece James. So that's absolutely crazy. Another thing I don't understand is why Marco Cucurella was being an advanced inverted wing back that was occupying one of these half space roles. Sure, Marco Cucurella had a decent game defensively. He tracked back every time to win back the ball. I love seeing that from Cucurella. But how is he gonna help offensively in that half space role? It's not like he's gonna score a goal, make an assist. It's not like he's gonna deliver a fantastic cross inside the box. It's not like he's gonna dribble past players and create anything. He was just utilized as a decoy to then just find Mudryk or Nkunku and Felix behind the backline. So that was crazy for me. And in the midfield we had Renato Vega, Enzo Fernandez. They both had a very poor game. I think the first half was the worst performance I've seen from Vega and Enzo Fernandez. But not wonder when they had such a poor performance when they're having Cucurella in the half space role, when they're not having João Felix and Kunko dropping down and helping them. Enzo Fernandez tried to find players, but they were always too far away. And he misplaced a lot of passes. Now Enzo Fernandez and many players of this team has to step up. I understand they haven't been good enough, but ultimately for me it always comes first to the manager. He's, for me, always responsible for the player performances and how they deliver out there on the pitch, because he is the one that's putting them in their positions. He's the one that's giving them specific instructions, role, what they're gonna do. And he has also the control to help them out there if things is not going right. I think though Enzo Fernandez stepped up in the second half. And I think there is a fantastic player in him. But I just feel like we're not utilizing him to his best abilities. And when you're rotating a whole 11 that you barely have any chemistry with, like, you're not gonna understand where players is going to be in certain moments, and therefore you're likely going to misplace passes when a strong Newcastle side continuously to press you for most part of the game and really stress you. In the offensive roles, we saw João Felix in the number 10 role and Kunko up front, João Felix on the left hand side and Kieran Dewsbury-Hall on the right hand side. And I couldn't understand it either, why we had KDH as a right winger. Like, has he ever played that in his whole life? Why not play in his best role that you utilized him at Leicester in? This is why I feel like Maresca did not want to win this enough. Why not bring up an academy guy like a Tyreek George and playing him as a right winger? Because that is actually his position. And people attacking KDH for playing poor. No wonder he's playing poor when he's utilized as a right winger. He didn't know what to do. Then we have João Felix. He's a player that he has those flashes of moment when he looks brilliant, but he's simply not consistent enough. And he had a fantastic clear-cut opportunity to score a goal, but it went past just the post, which was unlucky. It was a fantastic run from him and a fantastic pass from Tosin. João Felix's movement going past plays is fantastic, but he and Nkunku had to help the midfield and drop down so we could play through Newcastle's compact midfield. And they didn't do that enough. Nkunku had a very poor game as well. He felt like he had an off day, and he needs to absolutely step up as well. His touches inside the box weren't good enough. Mihailo Mudryk, I thought, was okay. I think he's actually growing confidence and belief in his abilities, and he actually understands what's he gonna do more and more. You can see that. So very pleased with Mudryk, and I think he's actually slowly developing. Yeah, so that was very nice to see. Another thing I couldn't understand is why he didn't make more substitution in the game to try and be more offensive and help the team. The only player brought in was Madueke by subbing out Kieran Dewsbury-Hall from the right wing position, because he finally realized at half time that he cannot play there. So he just wasted Kieran Dewsbury-Hall's time and abilities. Madueke was positive when he came on. I mean, the second half was better, but Newcastle just had to sit back a little bit and defend and manage the game, because they know we were under pressure to score goals and try to change the game, and we couldn't do that. We could have brought in Cole Palmer, Neto, Gusto, Caicedo, and chose to do that. And Marc Cucurella played in that advanced inverted wing-back role throughout the whole 90 minutes, instead of maybe giving minutes to a Casadei and Chukwuemeka, who can actually play that role and is offensive-minded players. So, for me, Maresca has to take the most responsibility and accountability for this performance and results. The players has to do that as well, but I'm looking at Maresca first of all for this game, because he's the one that selected this lineup and the way we were going to play. He was the one that put the player in certain position. So, crazy, absolutely crazy. And he said after the game that he didn't want to sub out João Felix and Kunku because they played well. Now, Enzo Maresca, I have to give him credit. Most press conference and post-match interview, he has been honest. But I notice sometimes he's lying a little bit. He's starting to lie a little bit in certain moments. I don't know why. Maybe he feels like he needs to keep every player happy as long as he can. I just think you have to be ruthless. If a player doesn't perform, take him out. João Felix was not good enough, and Kunku did not have a good performance like most of the other players. You could have brought in Marku, for example. Casadei, Chukwuemeka. It feels very sour to go out of the Carabao Cup because I was very hungry to try and go as far as possible and win it. I wanted revenge from the last season when we lost to Liverpool's academy team. I don't want to jump too much on players. I know there are players that has to step up the game, but I'm gonna give them more time. They're gonna get more time to prove wrong. But it's up to them, and it's also up to Maresca to help them and improve them. You're the manager, you're the coach. I refuse to believe that some of these players we have bought is useless. I refuse to believe that. I might change my mind in the near-time future. I think the fans should be refunded. Completely waste of time. And Maresca, all the players needs to step up the game now. And they had to redeem this poor performance by getting us a victory against United. So, as much as I have been giving Maresca massive praise, I'm very disappointed in how he did the game yesterday. So, absolutely shocking, and feels like we threw it completely away. Let me know what you think. Do you think Chelsea threw the game away, or do you just think we weren't good enough? And I know that mistakes also costed us the game, but it wasn't like we were fretful going forward anyway. And Newcastle could have scored a lot of more goals, except from the mistakes we made. So that's all it for the match review. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and I see you for the match preview tomorrow. Thank you so much, guys, and Chelsea Explained is out. Bye.